So, hello guys, my name is International Master Minh and once again, welcome to my channel. So today, once again, we are doing a game of rapid 10 minutes with no increment, and obviously the game will be uploaded to YouTube later. Here, I'm trying to play a short play game, trying to show how I'm thinking, like, how to make a move or the reason why I just decide something like that. Obviously, I will try to explain very slowly, which hopefully can be instructive for you, and you can give me questions whenever you want to. So let's start right away and have fun. Go! Ooh, someone from, I think from Hong Kong, I think so. Juicy Poos. It's hard for me to pronounce his name, so, let's say Juicy. Whatever. We can forget about the second stuff. This time, sure, names are Indian, E6. Knife 3. He just avoid the main Nimzo wish variation and he look for knife 3. Here, so black has plenty of way to play here. So I don't know if what you guys want to see. Maybe Benoni or d5, which turns back into the Queen's Gambit decline before Boko Indian or the Queen's Indian. There are plenty of things here. Plenty of things. If you want to play something safe, I really suggest bishop b4 and b6. d5 back to the main line, when you can meet the cut along or plenty of stuff. Plenty of stuff for sure. So for me here, I will try something else. I did not play this one a lot of time in my just career, but now we'll try it. c5. This is the Benoni, which you are trying to attack his center right away, the d4 pawn, right? And put pressure immediately. e3. This is a safe move. Normally, once you play d5, you can play, the d5 play here, and here, which is the main variation, but e3 is considered to be safer. d5. We play d5 here, so that we can prevent his d5 move. That's it. Knight here. And you will see a very tense center, you see, right? A very tense center, where no one wants to release the tension early on. So a move here, you must know that normally black play is a6, this move. The main idea in this kind of structures is a6. Why? Since a6 allows you to play this move, dc4, and b5. You see, right? By b5 here, you trace this bishop away, get the b7 square for your bishops, and get a lot of space initiative in the queen side. So a6 is a very normal idea here in this kind of pawn structures. You guys can try to memorize that. That is a good lesson, I would say. a4, b4, knight b1, knight e2. I think knight b1 is the main line here, but this is rare. I would say really rare. If I was not dumb, what is this? I don't know. He can play knight e4. He can play knight b1 or whatever, but this move feels strange. Very strange. I think that is a piece up. Should be 3. Okay, so now once again we are moving to the part of converting really early, right? Really early. So he trying to chase my knight on e4. Normally, you can try to stay there, but I think the safest option, especially when you are not castles yet. It's just plain safe. Knight 6. Well, c4 is not a good move, since it can create problem with a4 here, and he can try to attack this pawn chain right away. I mean, if I play rapid in my main account, it is good for me, since I can try and practice, but it will be hard for me to explain things for you. Since opponent at my level, 2600 rapid rating, is hard to explain. Bishop d2. I don't know what's going on though, but I think now the pawn is free, right? Earlier I cannot do that. Like cd4, he takes, and then queen on this one, right? Got these ideas here. So now bishop e7 is safer. But now since the bishop has already blocked the queen, okay, why not? Right? Takes. Well, I mean, this account is, I think I have already shown it in this account, is that this is a smooth account. Okay guys, next question. I'd like to play here. What can you do? Here you have a very strong move here to solve all of the threats by your opponent. A very strong move here. His idea here is bishop b5. You see? A strong discovery. So you need to be very careful. Castles here will allow this one, right? Another discovery, which you need to be careful again. Rook d8 will be a safe move. Defend the queen and attack the bishop as well. But as Flamber mentioned, this is the best, since this create a double attack, and especially meeting ideas here is hard to defend, right? He can still play queen f3 though. This move is still playable. At least he avoid losing another piece. But I don't know, that move is hard on this level. That's okay. Queen d5. He see this move, he see my ideas here, so he sacrificed the bishop. But obviously, that's still losing as well, right? Knight d5. I will play with a knight here, since it threat another bishops. And now when we up material, right? And I mean, this is easy to trade, right? Much easier to trade here, and it feels good for us, right? Trade everything. When you up material, you can try to trade. You can try to liquidate into a winning endgame, or you can try to attack right away. But now I think we don't have queens on the board, right? And obviously, I think a trade really favors us. He also doesn't have rook c7 as well. My knight and d5 cover it, right? So now go for the pawn here, activate my king here as well, and an easy win. Free pawn. Knight c3. And this is really crushing. His light square is also very weak. f2 for sure. I will try to finish the game right away. Yes. So that I have more time to explain later. Okay guys, meet him. I will let you do this. Meet him. There are plenty of ways of meeting him here, but there's I think only way to finish him right away. How to do it? Meet him, please. I will not bully him. I will meet him here right away. That's it. I mean, this one he can play king g5. He can run though. He can run. Obviously, in this position, everything wins, right? But I just want to tell you how to meet your opponent right away, in case you may be down in time. In case. As a second play, I don't know, like king h5 probably, I don't know. But the best way to meet here is f5 instantly. The square can always be traded by knight e4, right? So knight e4, and this and this and this. And the king is in a corner h5, and obviously it is in a waiting net. Everything wins, but this is more frustrating, right? There's just more forcing, and that's it. Well, so the game finished with a decent mid, right? Obviously, he doesn't play well. He just blundered a knight so early in the game, which is wrong. But I will say that, you know, the move before kind of create some, I think, annoyance for him. So let's come back to the game and try to explain something about this. So d4, knight f6, right? c4, e6, knight f3. So once again, as I mentioned earlier, there are plenty of things here. There are plenty of things here that I can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. That are the, 4 moves that like mostly play here. d5, we'll come back to the queen's gambit decline, right? Where white can try g3 as Magnus play in the match, or knight c3 here, which will be the 3 knights variation, playable as well. c5 is what I play in the game, and we'll talk about that at the end of the day. Bishop b4 is the Bogo Indian, and the idea is to trade the bishop with this one of two things, like a knight or bishop is fine, castles and here, and they are the main idea by black. When I try this is known to be the safest option, even compared to b6. The Bogo always seems to be the safest option, and your ideas here is pretty straightforward. Trade here whatever, like here and here, right? And then here and here and here. That's it. The Queen's Indian obviously is pretty huge. The idea is to neutralize the diagonal here, right? And here, probably here, and d5 later. Obviously, this will lead to a very big variation, you know, where obviously plenty of things are required, right? So okay, in the game I chose something different, c5. The idea of c5 here is to strike right away on his center. You see? Strike right away on his center, which probably seems to be, I would say that, wrong, right? Not easy here to deal with. The pawn on d4 here is under attack. Normally, white will play d5, and this, and this one is the idea. You see? And I think that is the main idea of the Benoni variation. Like this, and then you can play here, or here, or here, whatever. But this is the main variation of the Benoni defense. In the game, he plays something worse, e3. This is playable, but this is known to be a bit passive compared to d5. Since this one blocked the bishop, right? Block the bishop. Makes things harder for white to activate his pieces. d5. I prevent his d5 right away. Bishop e2, right here, and this one a6. So I want to mention this kind of thing. When you have this kind of pawn structures, 4 pawns in the center like this, a6 is a very important move. A very important move. The idea is to play here and b5 right away. So this is actually a very important idea to memorize in this variation. I think normally one need to play like this, and here, and you know, I think black should be doing okay. Black should be doing okay here. This pawn on d5 seems to be pretty weak, but it can still be defended. You can try here later, and here, and overall, white can try taking c5 to get a position that he can play against the isolated pawn on d5. But objectively speaking, black is doing well. In the game, he castles, which let me take on c4 right away. And this is the main idea here, right? b5. And you can see that the bishop on c8 now will go to b7. Earlier, it's not easy, right? It's not easy to ask where can the bishop can go. Where can the bishop go, right? But now it is quite clear that it can go to b5 via these ideas. And b7, this way. You see, right? So that is the main ideas here in this position. In the game, so this one, bc4 and b5. You see? So now white enjoys a simply, easier to play position. Like, he can take here, force the pawn d4 to be isolated, bishop e7 as well, queen here, rook d8, whatever. It looks much easier to play for black, right? I think in a game, someone asked me why don't play c4, right? But this is actually not really good. It's now a4 and your pawn chain is under serious attack. It's not easy to deal with it, right? Even b3 can be playable as well. Your king is not castle yet, and there's some pressure throughout the e file. The a file, I'm sorry for that. And obviously, it is not easy to play for you, right? So at the very least, you should be still careful. Bishop b7 shows everything. A4 to b4, and the bishop defend the rook on 8 as well. In the game, a4, b4. So as I mentioned, what white should do here is knight b1, right? Knight b1 here, I think so. And then you can try and take here, for instance, bishop e7 as well, castles, and obviously it looks much easier, right? This bishop here looks pretty poor, and then I would say that black enjoys some space in the queen side as well, and it looks much easier. Agree? Looks much easier. In the game, he's given me a free knight, and obviously, just convert, right? Just convert. Move the knight back here to defend. Bishop e7, developed, and take a pawn, if possible, right? If possible, just take another pieces. What's wrong with that, right? What's wrong with that? Take here, takes, and obviously, that's good for me. Agree? And queen d5. This one kind of decided the game right away. White must try queen f3. It is the must play move. At least it can save a piece for him, right? Queen g5, drop the bishop here, and this one defend g2 as well. So that's why it is playable move. But obviously, it's not easy at all. In the game, so here, and obviously, I trade everything and win the game, right? Okay, here it is. So a fairly smooth game, based on quite an important idea to remember in this position. You understand me? So, any questions? Guys, any question? I think the game is pretty smooth. White doesn't play really well in the opening. I think he played well though, but he gave me a piece somehow, which makes our play easier, right? So, I think the game is kind of smooth overall. Okay. Okay. I see no questions here. Hopefully that means that my explanation is good enough. To be honest, this game is not that hard, right? The only thing I want you to memorize here is about the 6 ideas in that kind of pawn structures, which allow you to be able to obtain a good position and try into b5 later. That's it. No more than that. Okay, so hopefully you find my explanation good enough and you find my game instructive, and thank you for that.